I beg your pardon.
She's writing stories. She's really enjoying it, and it's a good thing for her, and it's like a breath of fresh air. So I've just thought that I should just let her crack on with it. Um,
I see. Well, that does lead us to this major issue I'd like to to discuss with you. Your daughter has been struggling in various subjects, but in most of them, she still manages to put on an acceptable performance. It's in her Lucida class that we have a real problem.
right. It's actually I
She,
want
and
to.
I know this is going to be a bit of a shock, but she doesn't really even take photographs. She doesn't show any of the normal or natural curiosity for capturing images that children should have. It's important to a child's growth and health, and I'm really quite concerned about this.
Uh,
Like I
yeah, I.
said, I know how someone in the position really struggles with balancing their commitment to Lucida, working their job, working on their portfolio, and making sure the kids go in the right direction as well. It's unbelievable strain on you. And we at this school don't want to add to that. That's why we want to assure you right now and right here that we will give you every bit of support that we can to the development of your daughter's photographic abilities. It's our duty of care, and we feel like we would be letting you down otherwise. So we completely got your back on this.
Yes, thank you, but
So,
yeah.
is there anything you wanted to raise while we're still here? I do have my next appointment in a moment. God, that one's just going to be pure praise. Her portfolio is amazing.
Well, yes, actually, there was this one thing that I've been meaning to say the whole time. It's actually
Right?
it's a really unpleasant thing. There was an incident with the other school kids 2 days ago. And my daughter was just minding her own business, playing with some of the trees, and just because I mean I know she should be taking more photographs, but that was no reason. The other kids just they challenged her, to say the least, as to why she wasn't taking photographs of the trees, and she just said she wanted to enjoy them normally. They laughed and called her a freak, and then the next day they all came up to her and said that they wanted to show her something nice and that she should follow them, and they took her to the edge of the playground and
Go on, go on.
they
Please
suddenly
continue.
grabbed her and pushed her into a hole. They spent the whole day before digging and preparing this hole for her. So they just pushed her in, and even before she hit the ground, they took out their cameras and started taking photographs. They just took loads and
Oh,
loads of photographs while they were doing this to her. Like when she hit the ground, when she was in shock and trying to realize what was happening to her, while she was crying, asking why they were doing this, and what has she done to deserve this? I mean, she begged to be helped out, but they kept snapping away. They let her be alone down
oh,
there.
please tell me
They let her be
more.
alone down there and suffer for a whole 20 minutes. They went around the hole, tried different angles, and they then grabbed stones and sticks and threw them at her. And
Oh,
also to
wow.
all of that,
Interesting.
excuse me, like to finish off, they just jumped into the hole and took some close-ups. They took close-ups of my daughter suffering, finishing touches they called it, and they helped her out after that. After nearly 20 minutes of torture, they helped her out, and they then thanked her. They thanked her and told her that now they hoped that she would realize the true beauty of Lucida and of capturing things inside instead of interacting with them.
Absolutely.
They were doing all of this for their Lucida class. They say they were experimenting with emotion, the human body, a story, the narrative of an outsider, the misunderstood. I mean, how could they think that was how could I think that it was right to torture my little girl for class? Is it their parents? I mean, I'm in no way suggesting it was you, but I needed to talk to someone about this, and I'm just
Oh,
really
Miss
concerned.
Collins, you completely got the wrong end of the stick. There's no need for you to be worried or concerned about these events. I know it might at first be a little bit of a shock that some of the children have such sophisticated responses
But
in completing their
that's
portfolios,
besides
but
the.
you should be happy. You should be proud.
Uh,
You should rejoice your daughter was able to partake in such a such a wonderful artistic initiative.
I'm sorry. I
Oh,
want to
it
make you.
really shows how the challenge and care we provide at this school really produces the most excellent results. Your daughter, she became the subject, the model, the emotion.
I don't think
She
that
became
she.
perfection
I
as
don't.
Lucida would have it. She was hurt, she cried, she felt betrayed, she didn't know at all what was happening to her. And it was all captured on camera.
But she was hurt. Like
We all
I
do
don't.
it for Lucida, and Lucida is made richer through our ever growing tapestry. I am so relieved that your daughter is now showing promise after all.
Uh,
I know this might be a bit hard to accept, but
I.
trust me, the art of Lucida, it needs cost. All of us must bring some sort of sacrifice to the table. It is a part of growing up. It's
Is it?
something we
Is it?
instill in every child that attends our school, as is the new global curriculum that most schools are under. Not all yet, but hopefully those others will one day see the error of their traditional ways and follow suit. So, one thing I can recommend you, Miss Collins, is to tell your daughter to really feel that pain. Let her really take on the character of the victim. Make it the most extraordinary performance there is in the photographs. And they'll make us all so proud. I
I don't.
think if she practices for a couple of weeks and does less of this fiction writing, I
But
honestly
that's
think
a.
not healthy for her. And I urgently recommend you to stop her from doing it completely. But if she goes down that path, she will be a star pupil, the talk of all the papers. With a bit of luck, one day maybe even Lucida would notice, and wouldn't that be wonderful? I'm sorry, it's just the
Uh,
implications of all this, and
I'm just.
are just really getting to me. And I think I need to capture this moment in every detail, every detail. For Lucida.
Uh,
Well, thank you, Ms. Collins. Now, if you'll forgive me, I'll have to crack on. Many more parents to see and many more moments to capture. But rest assured, as soon as we can develop this victim in the whole project of your daughters, things will start to get much better.
yeah, I understand. Thank you. Uh, yeah.
My pleasure.
Hello. You have been successful in your life attempts at capturing the world around you. Lucida is so proud of your portfolio. Not many are as blessed to be born with an eye as keen and watchful as yours. You are lucky, and you deserve to be rewarded, not just for your talent, but for your undying, unbent, and unsurrendering diligence and hard work. And now you have reached the place that most people die wishing they could have seen, but never do. You will spend the rest of your days here. Welcome to the waterfall of Lucida. My portfolio is so beautiful, so varied and so sophisticated. It pleased my family, it pleased all my schools, and it pleased the company, and it pleases Lucida. And now I'm here in a waterfall or a cave or a castle or a forest, but not a real waterfall or a real forest or a real anything. The walls, the ground, the ceiling, and somehow also the air are all made up of captured images of people long past, of photogenic stares, of adolescents and adults taking alcoholic substances, of politicians, of animals, of glass, of fountains and valleys, of naked people, arty people, people from far away, and people so close, of choreography and body movements, of products and people becoming the products, of sex and vanity and prudishness, of conservative values and images of freedom and liberation. I I still know what those words mean now, but I I think one day I'm going to forget after just living with captured still images for 10, 20 years. Just see them for their color, for their composition, for their geometrical structures, for their complementations, rule of thirds, central rule, color grading, aspect ratio, aperture, exposure, focal length. I don't see reality as reality anymore. I see it in lines, colors, depths of field, and shapes. What is a tree if it doesn't look photogenic? The real world is too bland. It needs life. It needs paint splashed and filtered all over it. What are facial gestures if they don't allure the audience in and aren't natural, mysterious, captivating? It doesn't matter what the people are feeling. They're not people anymore. They're portraits, they're paintings, images and images. And they are so beautiful, so much more beautiful than anything my face could ever be. It's like if I were to live stream and see myself speaking right now with all the emotions I'm showing, like we used to in the COVID